Well, hi everybody, this is Rod with Main Street Alpha and Apple a Day Options, and in this video tutorial I'm going to cover how to understand, read, and interpret the notifications, the email notifications that go out for trade signals for the Apple a Day Options program. So whether you're a new subscriber or just on a trial, that's what we're going to do here, is make sure that you're clear and understand how to read these emails. So I'm here in Outlook. You can see I have a number of different signals that came in. The first thing I wanted to point out, and we highlight this in another video where we talk about the program and how it works, is that the emails are actually going to come from Main Street Alpha. So Main Street Alpha is a platform and software that I'm a co-founder of as well, and it helps developers and trade signal managers send out tweets and emails and track performance for their trading system. So I use Main Street Alpha for Apple a Day Options, and that's where you're going to see these signals come from. The reason that's important is, for some reason, if you're not getting these signals and you're on a trial, the Apple a Day Options program currently trades pretty actively, usually places a trade every other day or a few trades a week. So if you're not seeing emails and you're on a trial, something might be wrong. You want to check our knowledge base for how you whitelist a particular email address. In this case, you want to whitelist Main Street Alpha. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on how to interpret what's going on here. Before I do that, I'll point out one more piece of the page real estate. Right from the email, you can actually click on these links and see all current trades. That will take you to Main Street Alpha. You could choose to stop receiving signals if you wanted, if it was just too much email for you and you wanted to watch them on Twitter or figure out another way to receive them. You could do that. You could change your email preferences, or you could unsubscribe from the strategy right here. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the ID and the issued here on the left is not important. The first component is the action. So this is what you're doing, or what the system is doing, I should say. And this does assume that you have a limited knowledge of order types for options. For Apple a Day Options, since we only buy options, we're not sellers of options to open. We just have two order types, which is buy to open a long position or sell to close a position. So you could buy to open puts or calls, and then you sell to close those put or calls. So here's the first action right here, buy to open a long. Quantity is 10 in this particular instance. And this is where folks initially get confused. This symbol here is kind of meaningless gobbledygook. It's a CUSIP that we can't use. So you look right below it, and that tells you what that is. So in this case, we're buying to open, the system's buying to open 10 contracts of the Apple, AAPL is the symbol for Apple, February 27th, 2015. So you can watch some other training videos on how to interpret that if you're not quite familiar with expirations. This happens to be a weekly contract. And then we got the 131 put, all right? Buy to open 10, 131. Most of them will be good till canceled. You may see some day orders. And then this is key over here where it says traded at. And in this case, what the price it traded at right there, as you can see, is 62 cents. So it traded at 62 cents. So about $620 is what the purchase price would be when this got filled. All right, so let's remove that. We'll go to the next one. So we bought to open 10 long, and in this case we don't have any targets or stops that are in this particular email notification. That'll make more sense in just a moment. Click over here. So now look at this right here. Remember, we just got in a position where we bought these February 27, 131 puts. And now another order comes along, a separate order, but it's a sell to close. So this is the target for this particular order. And let me move that out of the way because I kind of got over it a little bit. See, it's hard to see. Okay, this is the contract here, and right above it, 99 cents is the price at limit 99 cents. So sell to close the 10 that were just bought at 99 cents. So the previous order was to purchase at 62 cents, and now this is a sell to close. Sell to close. The acronyms for this would be something like it's STC, but we write it out for you. So it's sell. My handwriting on this application is terrible. So that's sell to close, and the other one that we would use is buy to BTO, buy to open, and that's what we did before. All right, so that's our next email. Now let's see what happens. So we got some goodies going on in here. So in this particular instance, Now what happened is it says this signal replaces a previously issued, which is now canceled. So down here, this was the sell at 99 cents. That's canceled because the system went and sold 5 of them, half of the 10, at 80 cents right there. Bought at 62, sold at 80 cents. Sell to close 5 at 80 cents. So there's a profit there of about 18 cents from where it purchased, about $70 before commission. So this is the next order. So we initially bought 10, the system bought 10, then it was going to sell 10 at 99 cents. Instead it canceled that order and sold half of them there, 5 at that particular price. Let's see what happened next. Then it's sell to close a little more at 92 cents. So as it turned out here, sell to close 10 Apple, market order, and it closed at 92 cents. Now, from where I started, we only started by buying 10, but it sounds like there was already 5 or maybe more in the system beforehand. So that's how it's selling 10. So we bought 10, sold 5, bought 10 more. This is a little unusual for this much activity, but I decided to make the video training today because I got a lot of examples here to work with. So that's the sell to close 10 at that particular price. And now here's one that's juicy, got a lot going in. So let me first point out the little comment here, so you'll see that I or other trade managers will make some comments from time to time. This is an order that actually has the initial buy and the targets and the stops all in one notification. So you read it top to bottom. Buy to open 10 of the Apple same contract that all these series have been on, again back at 61 cents. So you can see the market was kind of moving around here, giving the system many opportunities to buy at the same price. And I wrote here, back in the same contract, we have a stop placed for this as the contract is now a 30 delta with only 4 days till expiration. So Apple Day options will typically trade 5 by 5. If you've read some of the support materials, you'll know what that means. It means the 50 delta and 5 days till expiration. Since this was a Tuesday when this was taking place, there's no longer 5 days till expiration on this contract. There's only 4, and the delta was down to 30. So because of that, the system actually placed a stop and target at the exact same time. And here's what they are. These are conditional orders. One will cancel the other, whichever one happens first. So the way you place it is you would you purchase it at the 61 cents, your stop is at 35 cents, and your target is at 85 cents. Now, one of the things to point out about the Apple Day Options program when it gets pretty active is that it may appear that this is quite a lot of activity to follow along with, and that can be the case. So I want to point out that on this website and elsewhere you can find out about the auto trade option for Apple Day Options as well, in which in your own segregated brokerage account these signals can actually be placed and managed on your behalf if following along and placing them yourself is a little complex or you don't have the time to do so. All right, and then finally let's look at the last email on that cycle, because what happened here is this is a buy to open long position, but what's important to note is that it's actually not a signal here. It's very difficult to see that this is a lighter gray. Over under model outcome, it says this signal was previously emailed as being included for reference only. Now you'll remember these from the previous email. This was the target at 85 and the stop at 35. Those have lines through them and they're canceled, and the reason is because the action down here at the bottom had occurred. So the system went flat at the end of the day. It didn't hit its target, but it wanted to be flat. So remember, we were purchasing around 62, 61 cents, and it just exited the remainder of them at 68 cents and got flat. So that's the whole sequence. So it was buying and selling the same contract over the course of the day. Don't let this scare you. It's the first time taking a look at it. Once you start to receive the signals and are familiar with the positions, then it's easier to follow along than sort of from a running place in time. So I just jumped in and grabbed some signals for today because there was a lot of activity, as I mentioned, And again, an option is to have them auto traded in your own segregated brokerage account. You can even auto trade them in a simulated account, and check the simulated account at the end of each day or whatever time frame works the best for you. So let's go ahead and do one last overview here. I'll just start with the very first one right here one more time just to reinforce the concepts here. So we're going to be getting the signals from Apple a day from Main Street Alpha. We can interface with the system right through links in the email, and then our actions are all essentially right here. The most important thing being to remember that what we're actually buying or selling is down here, as opposed to trying to look at this symbol here. So our action, the quantity, the symbol, and then what actually happened is down there. From time to time we'll have stops and targets and more information in a single entry, but I would say about 75-85% of the time with Apple a day options, the targets and stops come in separate emails, not the initial email. All right, we'll leave it there for now. You can, if you have any questions, you can always send an email to support@virtualprop-trader. That is who's sponsoring the Apple a day program right now, even though signals come from Main Street Alpha. Got many properties in our ecosystem here. Again, this is Rod reminding you always trade like you mean it. Hopefully this was helpful, and we'll see you placing trades soon. Thanks.